You know, have you ever really stopped to think about the power of your words? I mean, really thought about it? That's the core question Chapter 8 of Calvin Mitchell's Immunity to the Lake of Fire is all about. He calls it the Two Fessions, and let me tell you, it'll completely change how you think about what you say. So let's break it down. Right off the bat, the chapter hits you with this incredible quote: "By your words, you will be justified, and by your words, you will be condemned." And here's the thing. The author argues this isn't just some poetic metaphor. Nope. He says it's a divine decree, that our spoken words are permanent, recorded acts. When you let that sink in, the implications are just staggering. So, what exactly are these two confessions? Well, you can think of them as two sides of the very same coin. The first is the confession of faith. That's you actively and vocally declaring what God has done for you. The second is the confession of sin, which the author sees as this crucial, humbling admission that we need grace in the first place. And look, this isn't just some theory the author came up with. It's grounded directly in Scripture. This passage from Romans is absolutely key because it explicitly links confessing with your mouth to being saved. So the big takeaway here is that faith, from this perspective, isn't just a quiet, internal feeling. It actually demands a spoken declaration. This brings us to a really core concept in the book, something the author calls Junction 11. The idea is that our words have real, tangible power, that they're recorded acts, specifically because humans are made in God's image. This is what elevates speaking from just a simple action to a necessary piece of the salvation puzzle. It's not enough to just believe it privately. So you can see how these two fessions are meant to work together. The confession of sin is like the root, that humble recognition of our need. And the confession of faith, that's the fruit that grows from it, the outward vocal declaration of Christ's work. One grounds us, and the other, well, that's what saved us. In the end, the chapter leaves all of us with this pretty profound challenge. It forces you to ask yourself, if your eternal destiny truly, literally depended on your words, what would you say? The author suggests that our answer to that very question has consequences that echo into eternity.